From the moment Naoya Inoue steps into a ring, something ancient seems to awaken behind his calm expression. It is as if centuries of warrior spirit rise through him, sharpening his focus and hardening his resolve until he stands not just as a boxer, but as a relic of a forgotten era. The world calls him a monster because they do not have the language to describe something more precise, more disciplined, and more devastating. Inoue is the rare fighter whose violence carries purpose, whose power carries principle, and whose every punch feels drawn from the code of a samurai who punishes arrogance without mercy. And in fight after fight, he has proven that those who disrespect him, his family, or his craft eventually find themselves face to face with consequences far greater than they imagined. The night he met Emmanuel Rodriguez was the night his patience dissolved and was replaced entirely by fury. The boxing world expected a technical masterpiece, a tactical duel between unbeaten champions. But for Inoue, this was far more personal. The memory of Rodriguez's coach shoving Inoue's father burned like gasoline in his veins. That insult transformed the fight from a championship bout into a personal ritual of vengeance. When the bell rang, Inoue no longer moved like a man seeking a belt. He moved like a son defending honor. The moment his punches began to land, it became clear that Rodriguez was trapped in a storm far greater than anything he had prepared for. The Japanese warrior hunted him with ruthless precision, every blow delivered with the intention of making the arrogant pay for their disrespect. Rodriguez, unbeaten until that moment, felt his world collapse in seconds. By the time Inoue dropped him again and again, the outcome was inevitable. The samurai had completed his duty. The belts came with it, but what mattered most was that a debt had been repaid in the only language Inoue speaks most fluently: devastation. And yet, vengeance was only one chapter in the saga of men who underestimated him. Jamie McDonnell had spent years building a reputation as one of the most durable fighters in the bantamweight division. 30 victories, 2 losses, multiple championships. A career built on toughness and refusal to break. He entered the ring believing that pedigree alone would carry him through. He entered believing experience would outshine power. What he hadn't accounted for was the reality that experience means nothing when standing in front of someone who hits with both precision and punishment. When the bell sounded, Inoue closed the distance as if it were nothing. His jabs shattered McDonnell's rhythm. His hooks dismantled his guard. Before the Brit could adjust, Inoue was already tearing through him with a relentlessness that felt almost surgical. For every boast McDonnell had made before the fight, Inoue responded with fists, using each punch to erase ego and replace it with regret. When McDonnell finally crumbled, the truth was undeniable. No career achievements, no golden record, no confidence could shield him from the storm that was Naoya Inoue. But perhaps the most revealing trials came earlier in Inoue's journey, when he was young, inexperienced, and still finding his identity in the ring. The fight with Antonio Nieves was supposed to be a test. Nieves, a cold, analytical fighter with knockout power, believed he saw weakness in the young Japanese prospect. He dismissed Inoue's early hype as manufactured noise. He questioned his resume and suggested he had never faced real danger. When their fight began, Nieves attacked aggressively, believing he could intimidate the rising star, believing he could expose him. But what he discovered instead was that the young fighter across from him was not simply talented. He was inevitable. Inoue absorbed Nieves's early strategy, analyzed it, dismantled it, and then unleashed combinations that shattered the veteran's confidence. A perfectly placed liver shot sent Nieves to the canvas in agony. He rose once, but his corner knew the truth. There was no path to victory, only more suffering. They threw in the towel before Inoue could deliver the final blow. It wasn't mercy. It was surrender. The message was clear. Inoue does not allow disrespect to linger in the air. He erases it. His early war against Warito Penis demonstrated that Inoue's intolerance for arrogance began long before he became a world champion. Penis entered the ring with far more experience and carried himself like a man who believed he could toy with a young Japanese prospect. He taunted, he smirked, he showboated, believing he had found an opponent too green to threaten him. But showboating in front of Inoue is a dangerous game. One moment, Penis mocked him. The next, he was collapsing to the canvas like a puppet whose strings had been cut. Inoue did not just outbox him. He dismantled him psychologically, physically, and emotionally. Every punch answered a taunt. Every combination stripped away another layer of arrogance. By the second round, Penis had nothing left but regret. Then came Pacherborn Kokiachim, a Thai fighter whose jaw was rumored to be carved out of stone. For the first few exchanges, Pacherborn tried to stand tall, pretending Inoue's power was overrated, pretending he could endure the punishment. But pretending does not last long when every punch lands with the force of a hammer cracking through armor. Inoue dissected him with cruel precision, working the body, then the head, then the body again, his combinations flowing like sharpened steel cutting through flesh. Pacherborn's showboating faded. His confidence evaporated. His legs began to betray him. And then, when Inoue finally lined up the perfect finishing blow, the entire arena watched a masterpiece in real time. Pacherborn collapsed in a way only those who face true knockout artists understand. It was not simply a loss. It was a lesson. Every opponent who stepped into the ring with Naoya Inoue believing they could test him eventually walked away with the same realization. You do not test a force of nature. You survive it if you are lucky. You fall before it if you are not. And in the legacy of modern boxing, few fighters embody the truth more clearly than the monster from Japan. What do you think? Which Inoue knockout or rivalry do you believe defines his legacy the most? And who should the monster face next as he continues carving his place in boxing history? Share your thoughts below, and if you enjoy deep dive storytelling like this, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss the next chapter.